very lovely afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. This is Nationwide. I am Ogochkuka Ona. Senate reconvenes plenary after about 6 weeks of recess in the remodeled Red Chamber. Lawmakers of the 10th Senate are sitting in the redesigned chamber for the first time since their inauguration on June 13, 2023. The chamber has been undergoing renovation since August 2022. Plenaries were before now held in the temporary chamber, which was a committee room converted for that purpose.
Let us also not forget the importance of cooperation with our constituents whilst we are here. We are elected to represent their voices, their hopes, and their dreams. It is through our engagement and our partnership with them that we can truly make a meaningful impact on the lives of all Nigerians.
The sitting thereafter continued behind closed doors. And similarly, the House of Representatives has resumed plenary after a 40-day recess for the Easter Salah holidays. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikwe reports that the House held plenary in the renovated chamber equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, which lawmakers say befits the dignity of the legislature. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, in his opening remarks at plenary, says the Green Chamber remains committed to security of lives and property in the country by supporting the security agencies while condemning the spate of terrorist attacks on schools this year. The House advocates the establishment of a dedicated fund specifically for school safety.
Have become target for terrorists and kidnappers. These acts are not only heinous, but are direct attacks on the future of Nigeria and rob children of their right to education and secure childhood. The implication of these assaults stretch far beyond the immediate pain and destruction they cause. They sow fear in communities, discourage school attendance, and potentially stifle the education of the generation. We will not allow the ambitions of our children to be thwarted by fear. The House stands united with the armed forces and will advocate for comprehensive strategies to safeguard our schools.
Speaker Abbas enjoined lawmakers to rededicate themselves to legislating for the welfare and well-being of Nigerians, stressing that to whom much is given, much is expected. And now to electricity matters. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has deregulated the prices of meters deployed under the Meter Asset Provider Scheme, MAP, with effect from May 1, 2024. The Commission says this is to enable customers acquire meters from the schemes of their choice based on competitive open market prices determined from transparent bidding frameworks. In an order signed by the chairman of Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Sanusi Garba, NEC states that the deregulation also follows the request made by the meter asset providers, local meter manufacturers and assemblers for a further review of meter prices in consideration of significant changes in foreign exchange rates and inflation rate, which constrained their ability to supply meters at the approved regulated price. The Commission noted the need for the efficient pricing of meters to respond more quickly to changes in macroeconomic parameters, particularly exchange rates. By this order, all electricity distribution companies are to ensure the effective and seamless integration of smart meters deployed by meter asset providers with the DISCOs, head-end systems and meter data management systems. Nigeria's energy sector is set to receive a boost as Ukraine's EDS Electrical and Electronics Manufacturing Company is investing in electricity generation and renewable energy across Nigeria. Benny Adams has details.
Nigeria's Electricity Act 2023 allows for more players into the electricity market. From faraway Ukraine comes the EDS Power and Engineering Company with a promise to revolutionize Nigeria's electricity landscape with state-of-the-art power generation systems to include renewables.
Today, the Ukraine-Nigeria Business Council is here to reveal to the good people and government of Nigeria the sustainable path to solving Nigeria's decade-old electric power supply problems.
The starting point is the Federal Capital Territory.
To help our Nigerian partners to develop energy system, to develop electricity system.
My capacity not so big, yes, maybe $5–10 million my own money. But with my partners, it's can be $20–30 million.
The Ukraine and Nigeria Business Council says growing Nigeria's economy through increased production, job creation, and sustainable growth of the economy is a task that is beneficial to both countries. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Lagos residents have appealed to stakeholders in the oil sector to find a lasting solution to the current fuel scarcity being experienced in the metropolis. Joy Popola was at some of the fueling stations for a situation report.
There seems to be no quick fix to the lingering fuel queues in Lagos as the scarcity of petrol continues to take its toll on the cost of living, especially transportation and other basic needs.
Look at the town, go to this place. You see a lot of people suffering for a beautiful country like this. This is my country. I love Nigeria.
Getting fuel is a challenge. Getting public transport is a challenge. As I'm trekking, I'm even trekking where there's no hold up.
Coming to work is stressful, and going back home is stressful. The cost of transportation is ×2.
Pulling through this unpalatable situation has become not just survival of the fittest, but smartest, with black marketers making brisk business. Lagos residents, just like other Nigerians, are hoping the situation will improve before the end of the week. In Lagos, Joel Ukbola, NTA News.
Is actually survival of the fittest, and for more on fear situation in Lagos, let's now join Adeola. Hello, Adeola. Can you tell us more on the fear situation in Lagos as we speak?
Hello, Ogochikuka. Well, from that background, the first situation in Lagos is really biting hard on Lagosians. I'm standing on Amabelo Way. Normally at this time, all we see is the rush hour of people going home. But right now, way back to my right, you can see the queue of vehicles waiting to get this product. I'm at this popular petrol station here, and right now they are dispensing fuel. That's good to know, and the motorists are patiently waiting for the authorities of the petrol station to start selling the product to them. Well, coming to work in the morning, major routes in Lagos, you see meandering queues, vehicles lining up for the product, to purchase the product. Even when the stations are not selling, they are just there. Another petrol station on Ahmadu Bello Way, last night had a very long queue way into the night. They actually slept in their vehicles, hoping that by this morning they'll be able to purchase the fuel. But unfortunately, they couldn't, because controlling motorists who are anxious to get this product was difficult. But at this spot I'm standing, we have the LASMA officials, and because it's very close to a military formation, we have military officers at the petrol station. There is a kind of sanity here at the moment. Everybody is just waiting. Once they finish loading the product, they will start selling. But that is the situation in Lagos at the moment. I will not forget to mention that a lot of people have resorted to trekking far distances because of the hike in transportation fares. Products, food and services has skyrocketed right now. And Lagos being the commercial hub of the country, you know, everybody will want to capitalize on this little hiccup to, you know, cash in, make bricks business, just the way black marketers are also cashing in on the situation to make bricks business. 5-liter fuel goes for 5,000 naira as against about 3,300 naira. A trip from Bonny Camp just behind me to NTA in front of me usually costs like 200 naira, but now a colleague of ours came just this short distance with 500 naira. So a lot of people we spoke to off camera are really appealing that Nupeng and those in charge of fuel production and supply should come to the aid of Lagosians so that things will return to normal.
Adeola, there you mentioned that people are trekking, and you didn't tell us about the goods, movement of goods in and around the metropolis, owing to the fact that the metropolis is a commercial hub. So what's the situation of the movement of goods and services there?
It's really biting hard on traders. I said it, there is a hike. And as a result of the hike in transportation fares, they have also added more money to their products that they sell. We're seeing vehicles loaded, but I can assure you that the passengers in the vehicles with goods are paying through their nostrils at this moment, and they are complaining that it's not funny. But we are hopeful that things will normalize, you know, in the shortest possible time.
Thank you very much. And you all equally mentioned that black marketers are cashing out. It's their time. All right, thank you very much, Adeola, for that update.
Thank you, Ogochukwu.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has extended his deepest sympathies to the victims of the gas explosion at Ita-Oshin, Abeokuta North local government area of Ogun State. The explosion from a solitary gas truck rippled through the community, resulting in the loss of life and property. In a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, the president also sympathizes with the Ogun State government and residents of the state over this tragedy. President Tinubu commends Governor Dakpo Abiodun on his valiant efforts to arrest this situation and immediately restore calm to the community. The president assures the people of Ogun State, particularly the victims of this harrowing incident, of his fervent support in this moment of grief. And in other news, President Bola Tinubu heartily congratulates Emeritus Professor Ayo Banjo, an academic par excellence, on the occasion of his 90th birthday. Professor Banjo is renowned for his contributions to the development of the English language curriculum in Nigeria and the promotion of Nigerian varieties of English. He is the former chairman of the board of the National Universities Commission and was pro-chancellor of the universities of Port Harcourt, Ilorin, and Ajayi Crowther. His scholarly output includes over 50 publications, as well as widely used textbooks in primary and secondary education. The president celebrates the former vice-chancellor of the University of Ibadan for his remarkable contributions to the development of education in Nigeria, while wishing him good health and many more years filled with joy. All right, we'll now be joining Hingino in Lagos for more reports from that zone.
Thank you, Ogochukwu, and welcome to Lagos. Complex forms of evolving threats globally have made the nation's security outfits strategize to effectively and efficiently combat such threats. The Nigerian Army is constantly undertaking to train logisticians with modern techniques and tools. Adeola Komiakera reports that the only College of Logistics and Management in Africa is currently training officers in the Senior Leadership and Staff Officers Course 2 2024 to become think tanks in their respective cause.
By the power conferred on me as the Commandant, hereby inaugurate the Senior Leadership and Staff Officers Course 2 of 2024.
The commandant of the college, Major General Wisdom Etuk, said the course is a deliberate process to enhance and fulfill the command philosophy of the Chief of Army Staff at transforming the Nigerian Army into a well-equipped and highly motivated force that will achieve constitutional responsibility within joint operating environment. The inaugural lecture titled The Making of an Effective Leader and Staff Officer for Joint Operating Environment, presented by the 15th Commandant of the College, listed some attributes of operational level officers, expectations and limitations of the system on staff-trained officers.
These are set of officers that before now they joined the army as purely professionals. So they had no privilege to be trained on Nigerian Army conventions in the way we write, the way we act, and then on leadership. So in addition to their competence as lawyers, as dentists, as doctors, as engineers, and all the professionals, they now have additional capacity or skills to effectively function in the military.
Logistics and professional partners of the Nigerian Army speak on the importance of the course.
Insecurity, criminality in the world today has taken a new dimension. And therefore, if you want to be able to deal with it and curb it, of course, you have to be a step ahead of the criminals themselves.
So this course is very, very important to study the logistics of movement, both their own and the counter logistics for the bandit.
105 direct regular commission officers and 1 allied student from the Gambia will for the next 36 weeks undergo intensive training to enable them protect the nation's territorial integrity and secure the borders from violations on land, maritime, air, cyber and space. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Industry players are drawing attention to the importance of seeking the interest of those at the receiving end by sustaining customers' confidence in the banking sector. The plea came to the fore following the new directive to banks by the Central Bank of Nigeria to increase minimum capital requirement for various levels of authorized licenses. Amaka Owo reports.
Lagos is generally referred to as the commercial nerve of the nation, and specifically the banking hub of Nigeria, with most bank head offices located within the city, as major activities that shape the sector takes place within the former nation's capital. The city also hosts a huge banking population, with expectations of stability in the sector, in spite of the anticipated uncertainties occasioned by the process of recapitalization of banks.
CBN should ensure that the capitalization process or the recapitalization process does not cause any major disruption. So the banking system, it doesn't cause loss of confidence in the banking system. It doesn't, as much as possible, lead to loss of jobs and also loss of shareholders' investment. So there is no cause for alarm, but that reassurance has to come from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Considering that the banking industry really has no borders, it's an international industry. Your capacity has to be benchmarked against other banks in the world.
Options for the commercial banks are that they meet up with these new minimum capital requirements within the 24 months, or explore other options of either involvement in merger and acquisitions.
Industry players express optimism that the banks have the capacity to meet the recapitalization exercise expected to be actualized within the 24-month window period, adding that the move will increase liquidity in the banking sector, strengthen the financial system, and above all is in line with the federal government's target of building a 1 trillion naira economy by year 2030. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos. Nationwide will continue in Kaduna after this break. Do stay.
And welcome to Kaduna on Nationwide.
A one-day leadership and participation of women in peace and security workshop has ended in Kaduna with a commitment to promote best practices for inclusive security. Muhammad Marajingi reports that women and other key players in peace-building process made submissions that will strengthen civic participation.
Kaduna State has its share of communal conflicts, a social problem projects like community initiatives trying to solve. Engaging women and other key players in the last 4 years, improving on their ability to engage in alternative dispute resolution mechanism, as well as identifying early warning signs in their communities.
Over the last 4 years, CIPP has been working closely with different local peace structures in Kaduna State, and in fact we established peace structures such as the Women Peace Building Council, the Community Peace Observers, who are responsible for promoting early warning, early response.
We have been able to build capacities of traditional rulers, women peace networks, youth peace coalitions, as well as faith-based institutions, all in the bid to provide capacities for the amicable resolution of conflicts.
Participants representing 5 local government areas across Kaduna State contribute on the appropriate approaches to adopt for the sustainability of the program.
It has been found that women, if they are brought into the mainstream of discussing issues of peace and security, that they have a lot of beautiful ideas and that they work closely with people at the family and community level.
Resolutions reached at this meeting are expected to strengthen the implementation of the state action plan, focusing on the importance of the role of women in preventing and resolving conflicts. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
And away from women on peace building, the fight against child abuse and gender-based violence requires a collective effort, which prompted Katsina State government to set up steering committee for the implementation of relevant act in the state. During a maiden meeting of the committee declared open by the wife of the governor, Zalehat Diko Rada, stakeholders appreciate the state government for taking the crucial step. Awal Haliru reports.
The steering committee, comprised of representatives from various government agencies, civil society organizations, and relevant stakeholders, they have gathered for the maiden meeting to kickstart the implementation of the Child Protection Law and tackle gender-based violence in Katsina State. The meeting was convened by the State Ministry of Women Affairs in collaboration with the Save the Children and other development partners. The committee chairperson, Zainab Musa Musawa, who is the Commissioner for Women Affairs, emphasized the importance of collective effort in protecting children and vulnerable individuals from abuse and violence.
GDP in Katsina is influenced by social cultural norms, and it is excavated by poverty and limited education.
The grand patron of the committee, wife of the state governor, recognizes the gravity of the situation and the need for urgent action. The governor's wife expressed commitment to working together to ensure that children and women in the state are safe from harm and receive the necessary support and protection.
Child abuse and domestic violence are on the rise, casting a dark shadow over the lives of our citizens, particularly our women and children. This is not acceptable.
The committee acknowledges the support of international partners in the fight against child abuse and gender-based violence.
I'm happy that we have all stakeholders coming here to discuss on how we can address issues of gender-based violence in Katsina.
The meeting marks a significant step forward in the quest for a safer and more protected society for all in Katsina State. Awal Halaru, NTA News.
And that concludes our package from here. And from here, let's rejoin Ogochukwuka in our Abuja studio. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Asmao. And now to ensure a comprehensive and inclusive data collection of persons with disabilities in Nigeria, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and other relevant agencies are working together to provide adequate data of persons with disabilities to enhance inclusivity for this community of persons. Ngufan Shaji Ugwanyi reports.
This collaboration is targeted at bringing about a comprehensive list of existing data sources of persons with disabilities across ministries, departments, and agencies, understanding of the types of data being collected and the variables used, as well as identifying the gaps in the data collected.
It is mandatory for us to be able to, as we do provide these services, to disaggregate the data and identify the number of persons with disabilities who benefit from the provisions of the services and those who are yet to benefit from the provision of the services, so that we can be able to establish the gap and know truly where are we succeeding and where are we not succeeding. So when we are able to identify this gap, then we will know where to put pressure.
Of course, you know, the issue of survey is resource intensive. You know, it requires a lot of human resources, requires a lot of financial resources. So we are hopeful that with this takeoff action of trying to look at what we have on ground, that when we are done with this, you know, this will be actualized.
It is also expected that at the end of this meeting, stakeholders will be able to mine and produce data of persons with disabilities from existing data of MDAs, NGOs, and development partners. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
Yobe State government has made a strong case for more partnership to support the state for additional vaccines to effectively tackle the spread of cerebrospinal meningitis type C as heat wave rages on in that part of the country. The State Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Dr. Mohammed Lawan Ghana, made the appeal while giving updates on meningitis outbreak in the state, as well as reacting to a rumor on the outbreak of a strange illness in the state. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Yobe is one of the states recently hit by the outbreak of meningitis, with official statistics indicating that the state has so far recorded a total number of 2,510 cases of meningitis, out of which 85 victims died.
All of the 85 that died from our investigations, it showed that they are either reporting very, very late to the facility, or they did not report at all, and then of course they passed away. Obviously, there will be community-related deaths for people that never reported at all to the health facilities.
Since then, the Commissioner says some of the measures taken to curb the spread of the disease include vaccination exercise, aggressive community sensitization, and establishment of a temporary emergency operations center in Potoskum, among others, culminating in drastic reduction in the number of cases across the state. On rumored death of more than 200 youth by strange illness recently in Potoskum and Nengero local government areas, the Commissioner dispels the report.
We have over 2,000 to 3,000 people all over moving around, hearing and then reporting. So the moment there is a particular health event, these people will know from the community leaders, cases reporting to the health facilities or through designated. We have voluntary community mobilizers, community informants, and outreach teams attached to the facilities as well. And they confirmed that there is no such incidence of 200 people dying.
He calls on the population to report early to medical facilities nearest to them in case of any emergency, stressing that treatment of communicable diseases such as meningitis is free of charge in the state. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And Yunusa Suleiman is also standing by live for more information on this. Hello, Yunusa. What more can you tell us on the situation of meningitis outbreak in that state?
Welcome to Damaturu. Well, if our viewer is closely following, 2 to 3 issues were highlighted in that report. One is the ongoing effort by the state government to curb the spread of meningitis type C, where we have seen the state established or established a temporary emergency operation center where it monitors activities around, most especially Potoskum and Nengero local government areas considered to be the epicenters of the outbreak. And we have seen the state has initiated mass vaccination exercise around that area. The state also engaged, most especially in the infectious disease area, to manage patients of this disease, and of course the conversion of the State Specialist Hospital in Potoskum as the center where victims are being taken care of in that area. And as the state is, carrying out these activities, now comes a report that over 200 youth died recently as a result of a strange illness in Potoskum and Nangero local government areas. And this has really, it was a frightening figure to the policymakers, and that's why they questioned the integrity of that report, where it says it has a robust primary healthcare structure, that there is no way such disease will break in those areas without it knowing, and lastly, the state government is also appealing to the federal government and other development partners to make vaccination available to the state so that it will continue, to carry out vaccination exercise against the type C of meningitis in order to prevent the outbreak of other, types of meningitis in the state.
Mochinusa, and the good news you just told us is that the state government has set up emergency centers to tackle such cases. Thank you very much for the update. Okay. Now, a two-day national sensitization conference on drug abuse and other vices has ended in Minna, Niger State, with a call for the participating states to spread the message of dangers of drug abuse and achieving a new Nigeria to grassroots. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that key players from the Nigeria Police, NAPTIP and NDLEA led in the sensitization.
The two-day conference is designed to expose targeted audience on the menace of child trafficking, substance abuse, and other forms of violence against children and women, with a view to addressing them. Papers presented dwelt on creating awareness on the importance of implementing existing laws and resolutions for effective service delivery.
Issue of drug and substance abuse in Nigeria is mainly a man thing, but gradually the women folk has now found a place in the issue of substance abuse.
You have stakeholders and community leaders, you must build their capacity for them to understand what trafficking is.
Others corroborated with speakers narrating their ordeals for greater monitoring in their respective states.
I'm speaking shamelessly from the perspective of someone who had abused drugs before but was not a drug addict. And it was because of a failed marriage. A lot of women here, some of them, their marriages are not working, some are in failed marriages, and they get into drugs.
If we can have the men get to understand that whatever happens to A, will surely turn around to happen to B. It will go a long way in helping the men also join in sensitizing the women and the girls.
The sensitization continues in other geopolitical zones to cover the entire nation. From Minna, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
And from Minna, Niger State, we're heading straight to Edo State, and Obehi is right there in Benin to give us more reports. Hello, Obehi. It's good to see you.
Ogachuka, and welcome to Benin. Governor Godwin Obaseki has increased the minimum wage for workers in the state from 40,000 naira to 70,000 naira. The governor made the announcement at the inauguration of the newly built ultra-modern Labour House Secretariat for labor unions in the state. Goodluck Enaini reports that the national president of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, inaugurated the edifice named after a former NLC leader and immediate past governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole.
In the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
The edifice, occupying a large expanse of land, is situated on the hilltop by the Koba River along Tempoga. It is to serve as a symbol of the existing comradeship between the government and the organized labor. Recognizing workers as the original creator of wealth, the governor advocates a better remuneration and announced a minimum wage of 70,000 naira for Edo workers with effect from May 1st.
We cannot run away from the fact that we must adjust the minimum wage of workers. For us in Edo State, we have decided that we will move minimum wage effective May 1 to 70,000.
The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, delivered the inaugural Labour Lecture Series instituted by the governor on leveraging the legacies of Pa Michael Imodu as way of fostering harmonious and productive industrial relations.
Governance will be about making lives better, just like the governor has demonstrated, and not about primitive accumulation of wealth.
You looked at both partisan politics, you looked at both whatsoever, but you looked at what should be the befitting name that this place should have earned, and you named it ASSOT. We thank you for that, Mr. Governor. The most important factor of development is human resource. The strength of Edo is your 3 million plus workforce.
There were goodwill messages from the representative of the Minister of State for Labour and Employment and the International Labour Organization. Some labour leaders of Edo extraction were honored. In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NT News.
The Commandant, Nigerian Army School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, Auchi Major General Oladile Arogundade, has appealed to officers' wives who are beneficiaries of the 5-day Barrack Investment Initiative Program of the Army to sustain the skills acquired during the program. The Commandant gave the advice at the closing of the program in Auchi, in Edo State. The report. The Commandant, Nigerian Army School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, Auchi, said the 5 days intensive program is intended to empower Army wives and children towards having other sources of income and better living condition. He enjoined all participants to make use of the lessons learned during the training program. In his review, the Deputy Commandant and Director of Studies said the participants will not regret their involvement in the program.
There's a lot of money in farming. The ground is so fertile. If you plant yam now, in a few months, you see them, big yams. So even if it is just to even feed the family alone, I think it's something that will employ them.
Our soldiers' wives, with every enthusiasm, and the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association also, they've taken part in that training.
Some participants commended the organizers for the initiative.
It's a skill that will stay with you. Even after you retire, you can also get your life going with it, make your money, take healthy things.
The officers, their wives, the young people within the barracks are empowered with requisite skills that can become economic tools for them.
I would like to say a big thank you to the Commandant. He has a good heart, a large heart for initiating this.
I'm really very happy that I was able to be among this program.
Presentation of awards to the Commandant's Nigerian Army School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering and other participants climaxed the ceremony. The 5-day training program is to complement the skills of the military officers' wives and children to put food on their tables outside the conventional skills they already acquired. And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Ogochuguka in Abuja.
Now, gender strategy for the mining and state sectors and the women in mining in Nigeria strategy have been unveiled by the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake. The two strategic documents focus on 8 key areas, including action against women abuse and gender biases, as well as active women participation.
Sustainable development, empowering women in mining in Nigeria, ensuring that women in mining are also in the leadership positions, even in the governance structures to ensure sustainability of the sector. These are some of the 8-point agenda for women in mining, for strengthening women in mining in Nigeria, and we are pursuing it. And like I said, the Solid Minerals Ministry is a testament to the advancement of women, to the empowerment of women in mining in Nigeria.
The document has also taken into consideration is that there should be focal officers in all departments and agencies of the ministry, and we expect that the private sector should also emulate that to ensure that women issues are promptly addressed before it escalates.
All right, nationwide, we continue now in Sokoto, where Asmao is standing by. Asmao, I thought you were the one in Kaduna, but it was Salamatu. All right, it's over to you.
Many thanks, Ogochukwuka. Thank you for joining us here in Sokoto on Nationwide. Sokoto State Government has procured and donated over 20 operational motorcycles to the Sokoto State Command of the Department of State Security Services, DSS, to augment its fight against banditry in the eastern axis of the state. Presenting the motorcycles to the DSS State Director, Secretary to Sokoto State Government, Bello Sifawa, stated that the gesture is to complement efforts of security forces in protecting lives and property of people in the state. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports.
Sokoto State, like some of its counterparts in the Northwest region, has been grappling with banditry, kidnappings and other forms of criminality. The 20 operational motorcycles are donated sequel to a request from the DSS to enhance the kinetic measures of the security forces at flashpoints of Isa, Sabon Birni, Goronyo and Gada local government areas, among others. Governor Ahmed Ali, represented at the handing over of the motorcycles, reiterates Sokoto State government's unflinching support to security agencies to guarantee lasting peace across the state.
The government has assured them that we will do everything possible to support them so that they can discharge their duty effectively for the benefit of our society.
Receiving the donation, the Director at DSS Sokoto State Command expresses gratitude to Sokoto State Government for granting their request within 24 hours, describing the prompt response as indication of the government's resolve to flush out criminal elements in the state, noting that the gesture will boost morale of the operatives.
The use of the machine is very, very important in the area because that is what the miscreants are using. But this one is a big support to us in order to help us more in our operational activities.
Sokoto State Government has in the past few months donated 70 operation vehicles to various security agencies to complement their efforts in combating criminality across the state. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
Fuel scarcity is continuing to bite harder in Sokoto as the development paralyzes socio-economic activities in the state in recent days. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, who monitors the situation, reports that motorists and other users of premium motor spirits are appealing to the concerned authorities to address the issue to save the economy of the state and country.
The strategic location of Sokoto as a border state with the neighboring Niger Republic makes it prone to activities of fuel smugglers and black marketers. Currently, it is among the states worst hit by the tightness in the supply and distribution of fuel that forces motorists and other users to resort to trekking or abandon their legitimate businesses due to exorbitant price of the product. A litre now sold at 1,100 naira and above in most independent marketers' filling stations, while it sells at 2,000 naira and above per litre in black market, a situation that subjects low-income earners, motorists and other users to untold hardship.
There is scarcity, a lot of scarcity of fuel, and you don't know where this problem is coming from. Is it from the oil marketers or from the government? We don't know.
The only place that the product is being sold between 620 and 750 naira per litre is at the major marketers' filling stations that are, however, characterized by long queues and uncertainties. As at time of filing this report, however, movement of people and services have started picking up due to the dispensing of the product in few filling stations, although many others did not open for business for reasons best known to them.
It is the lack of product in the depot. In the all private depot, that's why you have seen the problem of this product of petrol.
The scarcity of premium motor spirit being witnessed is the most severe in recent times in Sokoto State, as the 4-litre gallon is sold between 12,000 and 15,000 naira in the black market. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
And that is our package from Sokoto. Is back to Ogochukwuka in Abuja for the continuation of the news.
Thank you very much. And next on our lineup is Sports Update with Gift George as our guide.
That's a terrific goal by Finidi George.
About 30 years ago, he scored one of Nigeria's iconic World Cup goals to help the Super Eagles beat Greece by 2-0 for the team to make it to the round of 16 at the USA 94 World Cup. Former Super Eagles winger Finidi George, who spent 20 months as assistant coach to Russo Pesero, has been appointed coach of the Super Eagles, and this has generated reactions amongst football followers in the country. The 52-year-old, who presently coaches Nigerian League champions Eimba, would hope to guide the Super Eagles to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
For the NFF to have gone that way, that's Finidi's way. It shows that the World Cup qualifiers, nothing needs to be taken into chance.
I think it only makes sense to go for continuity. Finidi has been part of that team through the AFCON. He knows the players, they understand him.
To women's football, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie has been voted the best goalkeeper of the season in the French Division 1 Female League. The 23-year-old was announced Monday night for her stellar performance of the season, in which she got the reputation of penalty expert, 7 spot kicks in the league and in the Champions League, the highest in Europe this season. She also helped the team to get to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. In other news, Naval Training Command are champions of the 2024 Inter-Command Sports Competition of the Nigerian Navy, held at the sports complex of Navy Town, Ojo in Lagos. The team won gold medals in female and male volleyball events, with another gold medal in the male tug of war.
Mentally and physically fit people chase criminals like crude oil thieves and smugglers than when you have people that are not fit.
Eastern Naval Command came second with 2 gold medals after winning the football event with a slim 1-0 victory over their counterpart, Logistics Command of the Nigerian Navy team. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Gift, and that concludes Nationwide today. Many thanks for watching.